1. Names of Avalokiteshvara and Avalokiteshvara.
Question: the names Avalokiteshvara Bodhisattva and Avalokiteshvara Bodhisattva, are they the same Bodhisattva or two different Bodhisattvas?
Answer: there is only one Bodhisattva Avalokiteshvara, not two. The reason for having such different names is because of two aspects. Calling Avalokiteshvara is from the perspective of monks. Because Bodhisattva Avalokiteshvara, when he was still in the position of a monk, he used his ear sense to cultivate, called, antitext of self-nature, which means he heard his own hearing nature again. Normally, when we hear a sound, we run after the sound, distinguishing between good and bad sounds, etc. Very few people listen to their listening nature. Sound is sometimes present and sometimes not, but the nature of hearing is constant and never absent from us. But the suffering is that we all accept the sound but forget the constant nature of hearing. Therefore, in the Shurangama Sutra, the Buddha's reprimand is, forgetting oneself after things. On the contrary, Bodhisattva Avalokiteshvara, thanks to the correct application and practice of the Buddha's teaching method, reflecting the text of the self-nature, he realized perfect ear sense, completely mastering himself and no longer dependent on the earthly world. Retreat freely and without hindrance, then call him Avalokiteshvara. Thus, the name Avalokiteshvara stands in terms of status. 2. Does the Pure Land sect transmit ancestor lineages?
Question: regarding the lineage of patriarchs, everyone in Zen Buddhism knows it, meaning there is a clear lineage. On the contrary, in Pure Land Buddhism, there is no such transmission. Then why call them patriarchs?
Answer: that's right. In the Pure Land there is no tradition of patriarchs like in Zen Buddhism, but the reason why they are revered as patriarchs is because there are many reasons. Typically the following 4 reasons that we see in the introduction, talking about the 13 patriarchs of the Lotus sect by the late Venerable Thich Thien Tam, are stated as follows. The reason why the patriarchs of the Lotus sect are honored as them is the patriarch, because the monks and nuns who practice the Buddha's name in future generations gather together to choose outstanding ones to exalt. That transcendence is expressed through the following 4 main viewpoints. 1. Regarding knowledge. Must be people who deeply understand both Buddhism and Buddhism, enlighten Buddha Dharma to the level of upper vehicle. 2. Regarding ethics, must maintain strict and completely pure precepts, practice diligently. Lam Chung clearly shows the legend of rebirth. 3. Regarding Hong Hoa, must have great merit in promoting the Pure Land Dharma, maintain the Dharma without sparing your life. Encourage and guide thousands of people to recite Buddha's name. 4. Regarding the pre-interpretation part, must have written, edited, at least 3 or more volumes of books promoting or propagating the Pure Land, must be able to translate and annotate the sutras to the level of the upper vehicle. These 4 conditions must be completely fulfilled to be exalted to the rank of Pure Land Patriarch. 3. The difference between mindfulness and mindlessness.
Question: what is the difference between mindfulness and mindlessness?
Answer: the basic difference between mindfulness and non-mindfulness is, mindfulness is one of the Eightfold Path, it belongs to the Theravada Buddhist teachings. Mindfulness means remembering the good things, the right things, the things that benefit yourself and others, and the true and noble moral principles. Speaking clearly of this word mindfulness, we can understand that when we do something, we remember that thing. Of course, we have to pay attention to what we do, not mind or think about anything else. As for no mind, it belongs to Zen Buddhism. Zen Buddhism says no mind does not mean no mind at all, like a stone tree, but no mind here means no mind attached to things. In other words, do not give rise to discriminatory thoughts in the previous world. The mind must always be quiet. On the contrary, mindfulness also causes the mind to start thinking about actions or actions. Therefore, mindfulness and mindlessness cannot be the same. Mindlessness is only similar to right concentration. Because right mindfulness is not the final stage, but right concentration is the final stage of the Noble Eightfold Path. 4. Meaning of swastika.
Question: why is there a swastika on the chest of Shakyamuni Buddha statue? And what is the meaning of the swastika? And I don't understand why the swastika sometimes rotates to the right and sometimes rotates to the left.
Answer: the swastika is one of the 32 good signs of the Buddha. This is a manifestation of Buddha's merit. The reason it appears on the Buddha's chest is to express the meaning of Buddha's complete enlightenment. In the middle of the chest symbolizes the middle way, not stuck on either side, beyond discrimination. Regarding its meaning, according to Hugh Kwong's Buddhist dictionary, it means auspiciousness and happiness. As for the direction of rotation on the right and left not being the same, according to the Hugh Kwong Buddhist dictionary, it explains as follows: the swastika, please draw a swastika with the top turned to the left here, was a sign of goodness in ancient India. In addition to India, Persia and Greece all have this symbol, which is generally considered to symbolize the sun, lightning, fire, and flowing water. In ancient India, Buddhism, Brahmanism, and Jainism all use this word. First, Indians believed that this insignia was the twisted hair on the chest of Brahma, Sanskrit, Vishnu, sand and iron Noah, Skt, Krishna, and generally considered this a sign of good fortune. Wholesome, pure, full. In Buddhism, the swastika, top direction turned to the left, is an auspicious sign on the chest of the Buddha and the Bodhisattvas of the 10 grounds, and later gradually became a symbol representing Buddhism. In the past, there have been many theories about the swastika. In Chinese, the word swastika is translated, Kumarajiva and Huin Trang translated as duk, Bodhidharma translates it as swastika, representing the meaning of full merit. In Song Chao Tang's Story 3, it is said that if the word van, top direction turned to the left, is translated as 10,000, it is not a literal translation but a negative translation. But the sound of the word Srivatsalaksana was not initially included in the sutras. It was not until the year 639 during the reign of Wu Zetian that this word was coined, pronounced 10,000. And said that this word had the meaning of being the gathering place of all good things. But the swastika, top left, is originally a symbol, not a word. The reason why in the past, people read thousands and thousands of words at once was due to custom, mainly due to mistakes when translating from Sanskrit to Chinese. Because the Sanskrit word laksana, translated as lakkana, means appearance, on the other hand, the Sanskrit word aksara is translated as aksara, meaning self. Perhaps the two sounds laksana and aksara are nearly the same, so their meanings are confused. According to this, the word swastika, top left, should be read as form, 10,000 forms, in accordance with the original meaning of the Sanskrit word. 5. 12 types of souls.
Question: please tell us what are the 12 types of living beings or souls?
Answer: 12 types of souls include 1. Fall of the imperial dynasty, kings died due to rebellion, life-changing accidents. 2. Imperial generals and anti-god generals. 3. 3 districts of famous gods. 4. Scholars at the White House. 5. Monks and monks, that is, monks who only speak the Buddha's teachings, do not practice the Dharma and are still entangled in something. 6. Mysterious Taoist. 7. Traveling merchants and semi-alcoholic algae traders. 8. Soldier in battle. 9. Unfortunate pregnant women, during maternity leave both mother and child. 10. Disability and lack of practice. 11. Beautiful concubines and perfume merchants. 12. Prisoner on death row. In addition, we must also mention the person who sinks in the river and loses the stream, the person who lies on the ground, the poor person who begs for food, and the person who sews a well and ties a rope. According to the book, The Essence of Buddha's Teachings, the 4 processes to go forward, Ha Thursday Tsong Fu, by author Tam Tin, in the section Writing for a Long-Distance Traveler. 6. Do you need to ring a bell to recite sutras at home?
Question: at home, we often chant sutras in the evenings, but I don't know how to play the bell, so is it okay if we just chant without the bell? And how to chant to get benefits?
Answer: the purpose of chanting is to understand the meaning in the sutras, see what Buddha taught, and then from there we can apply it to daily life. That's the benefit. Therefore, when reciting, we should recite slowly, it is not necessary to have a bell. The reason there is a bell is because there are many people chanting. The use of the drum is to keep the chant for everyone to recite, so that it has rhythmic harmony with each other, without someone chanting first and someone chanting later. So playing the flute is also quite important. The person who beats the wood needs to learn how to play it so that it keeps a steady watch. Therefore, in Zen, the person who beats the wood is called Diet Cho. Browse means joy, they are many people, meaning to make everyone during the chanting ceremony, everyone be happy. Only then will the person playing the flute be blessed. On the contrary, if you don't know how to play, the rhythm of the chant is uneven, sometimes too fast, sometimes too slow, making everyone chanting unsatisfied and depressed. In this way, the person beating the wood is even more guilty. The person who holds the bell to summon the bell is called Due Na. Due Na means the person who conducts the ceremony. Usually in temples, because there are many people chanting, there needs to be a bell. On the contrary, at home, if Buddhists just chant alone, there is no need to ring the bell. If there is a bell in the house, then when chanting, you can ring it if you want, no problem. However, it is better not to use these devices. In case there is no, that's okay. When chanting, depending on your health and habits, you can chant loudly or quietly or silently. Again, the purpose of chanting is to clearly understand the meaning in the sutras through the Buddha's teachings, so that from there, we can apply it to life, thus having practical benefits. If, when chanting, you do not clearly understand the meaning of Buddha's teachings, then Buddhists should go to the temple and ask the monks and nuns to teach them. 7. Season salty foods on fasting days.
Question: I am vegetarian for 4 months a year, 10 days a month, but on vegetarian days, I have to cook rice for my family to eat. So when I cook, I still season normally, because I'm afraid my family won't eat well, and then throwing away leftover food will be a sin, so is it okay for me to do that?
Answer: Buddhists vowing to be vegetarian is a good thing. Because of vegetarianism, the purpose is to cultivate compassion and avoid killing animals. However, because we still live in the same family and are the housewife who takes care of cooking for the family, we need to season food when cooking. Actually, seasoning is not a sin at all. Because in the past, when the 6th patriarch Huineng was still in exile, he lived with hunters, so at every meal, he picked vegetables and boiled them in their meat pot, then he picked up the vegetables to eat. He is the patriarch, because of circumstances he is forced to eat like that. Now, because of family circumstances, Buddhists cannot let their loved ones, husbands and children in the family lose their happiness. In our opinion, there is nothing sinful about seasoning. The important thing is in your mind. If, while tasting like that, we develop a mind of desire and covetousness, that is a mistake. To be at fault is to lie to yourself, not to blame anyone else. And if, while seasoning, there is no craving, it's okay. So, Buddhists should ask themselves if their hearts are like that. If so, it's better to let salty eaters season it themselves. 8. Meaning of long and wide tongue.
Question: in the Amitabha Sutra, it is said that the Buddha's tongue is wide and long, covering the entire 3,000 great thousand worlds. Please ask, what is this phenomenon like? Is that true?
Answer: that phenomenon is just a typical symbolic meaning. But it's not that real. Meaning, the reason Buddha has such a wide and long tongue is because through countless lifetimes, Buddha has never lied, so he is like that. On the contrary, because we ordinary people have gone through many lives of lying, embellishing words, and elaborate words to deceive people, scheming to profit for ourselves, as a result, our current tongue shape is not too long. 3 inches, in the sutra, it is said. If a person has not told a lie for 3 lifetimes, his tongue will stick out and touch the tip of his nose. The sutra describes it like that, with the purpose of advising us not to lie, but to speak the truth. The words are truthful, the results are said, everyone believes and listens. If, according to the scriptures, we interpret the Buddha's tongue all over like that, then how could the Buddha speak and preach? That's why it is said. The sutra explains the Buddha's injustice in the three worlds, but the sutra explains the same word, which is the same theory as the devil. Through these words, we need to be careful while explaining Buddhist scriptures. 9. The gods offer flowers as offerings.
Question. In the sutras, when the Buddha preached the Dharma, the gods came and threw flowers to make offerings. I would like to ask, from which realm do the gods come? And where do flowers come from?
Answer. If we say what realm the gods come from, we really don't know. Only seen in the sutras are the gods in the heavenly realms, such as the desire realm including 6 heavenly realms, the 4 heavenly kings, the Tao Loi heaven, the Dhamma heaven, the Tushita heaven, the Hong Lak heaven and the Hong Tu heaven. But in reality, we don't see it. If you don't see it, how can you tell? However, according to our understanding, the gods also came from humans, not far away. Why do we dare say that? Because, let's examine carefully, Buddha, Bodhisattva, Shravaka, Pratyabhadita, where did these come from? Did they come here from some faraway realm? Or are we all just human? Since they are humans, they also have a normal life, they eat, dress, and live normally like us. It's just that they are different from us, in that their level of enlightenment is higher than ours. Considering the causes of practice and the attainment of these monks, each of them has differences. Based on cause and effect, they have different names. But in general, we are human and live in this world, the same goes for the gods. These people are also human beings, but they are different from ordinary people in that, due to practicing the 10 virtues, they enjoy blessings and happiness more than those who keep the 5 precepts, and those who do not know how to practice. Practice keeping the precepts. These people should be called gods. Thus, we see it is very practical in practice. It's all based on the status achieved, but there are different names. This is according to our research and understanding. Of course, each person has different explanations and understandings. But in my opinion, any explanation must be appropriate and based on reality. Because Buddhism is a practical religion, not fanciful, vague, or mysterious. If we say that gods from other realms come, where is that realm? And what do they look like? Their practice is only to practice the 10 good deeds. If they come from other realms, of course they must have supernatural powers. Their magical powers must be thousands of times faster than current spacecraft. Scientists use spaceships to explore other planets, fly around in space, and so far have not found any god. Thus, currently there are people who try to keep the 10 good deeds, but they do not have supernatural powers. The monks who practice today, of course, must practice more than 10 good things, but in reality, we have never seen anyone with supernatural powers who can fly from one place to another. The supernatural power of these people is that of flying. Gods do not come from other realms, so there are no flowers from other realms. In short, through the above arguments, in my opinion, the scriptures say that gods are just humans. But people who keep the 10 virtues should receive more blessings and happiness than other ordinary people. And the flowers they use to make offerings to Buddha are also the flowers on this earth. Just like that. 10. Meaning of the title Mahasthamaprapta and earthquakes.
Question. What does the title Daivachi mean? And in the sutra it is said, when Buddha was born, the earth shook. So I would like to ask, is this earth-shaking phenomenon similar to the current earthquake phenomenon?
Answer. The title Mahasthamaprapta represents a person with transcendent wisdom and extraordinary will and energy. He is a bodhisattva, serving Amitabha Buddha. According to the statue of the 3 saints, Amitabha, Avalokiteshvara, and the Chi, he stands on the right and Bodhisattva Avalokiteshvara stands on the left. He represents great wisdom. Bodhisattva Avalokiteshvara represents great compassion. Compassion and wisdom must go hand in hand. Both cannot be without one, in practice, as well as when teaching. Therefore, Mahasthamaprapta Bodhisattva and Avalokiteshvara Bodhisattva are not separate from each other. He always uses his enlightened wisdom to save sentient beings in this impure world. Because wisdom has the power to destroy all ignorance. His image speaks of an extraordinary power of wisdom, which practitioners need to have. Thanks to the guidance of wisdom, all ignorance and afflictions can be eliminated. Only then will the practitioner who practices practice quickly be liberated. So every time we recite his name, we remember his bright wisdom and strong will. We are determined to follow his example, and resolutely overcome all obstacles and challenges on our path of study. Only then is it worthy to recite his name. And we get the benefits. It is said that when Buddha was born, the whole earth was shaken. This is just a typical example. Usually when a saint is born, there are unusual phenomena. This speaks of a special thing that ordinary people never have. That tremor was not like today's earthquake. If the entire earth were to quake like it is now, how would the entire human race survive? So, what benefit does Buddha's birth bring to humanity? Not only does it not bring benefits to humanity, but it also destroys humanity. So, how can it be called Buddha? The current earthquake phenomenon is a natural phenomenon of nature. That is a sign that tells us that the earth is about to crack and gradually collapse.
Thank you for spending your valuable time on my channel Journey to Enlightenment. Wishing you a very peaceful and happy day. Don't forget to click like and subscribe to my support channel. See you in the next video.